Alright, what I need to do is take off all of your clothing, including your watch, your underpants, dog tags, and put them in a neat pile just to your rear. Okay, you should have 5 sets of military socks. Put 1 set on your feet and put the other 4 in the S-long bag. Stand up nice and straight when you're done.
Now, we didn't have to do any of that, right? We didn't get naked at any point in time doing my selection process course. What's going on, guys? Green Beret React, going over the SAS selection video for you guys. Guys, the SAS is the granddaddy of them all. Every special operation entity, especially in the West, can trace their lineage back to the SAS and what those guys have done and what those guys have established.
It's day 1 of the SAS Selection course. Chosen from the best of the Australian military services, 130 men are at the start of a grueling 3-week test and a shot at becoming one of the world's elite soldiers.
I think everyone has nerves. I think you'd be lying if you said you didn't. It's just the unknown.
From this moment on, their every move will be scrutinised by the directing staff. Drawn from the classified ranks of the SAS, most of these men must remain in disguise. Although many of the candidates are already hardened soldiers, only a few will be left standing at the end.
Since we got back from Afghanistan, I've been training up for it. Yeah, can't wait.
You're going to see us look pretty messy, because they push you hard. They need to find out if you've got what it takes.
And only some of those will be selected to commence training for the coveted Sandy Beret.
So I know in my selection class alone, guys, it was made of, like, my class was approximately 420 guys. And amongst those 420 guys, you had a variety of guys from Big Army, meaning just conventional soldiers that have served already. I was one of those guys. Then we had the 18 X-ray population. And then you had a variety of ages. You had younger guys, middle-aged guys. You had older age guys. You had guys that had been there several times, and you had guys that's never been there before. But we all had one thing in common. And that is the will and the fortitude to push ourselves to our limits to see if we got what it takes. What does it take? Nobody really know.
There's some soldiers who are bred for this. They are just a warrior soldier, and all they want to do is serve their country and fight.
Over the next 21 days, these men will find out if they are made of the right stuff for the regiment.
We will break an individual down to see his true character. We'll see his strengths and we'll see his weaknesses. In situations where he's at the absolute limits of human endurance to come up with a solution to achieve the mission at the end of the day. So selection gives us a good insight into the soul of the individual.
During this time, they will be taught all.
So what he said there is pretty accurate. Think of yourself as an onion. And as you're going through selection, guys, layers are just getting peeled back. And then your true nature, the core of who you really are, that's going to start showing up, whether you want to or not.
Almost nothing. Instead, they will learn a lot about themselves.
Find out who I am, what I'm capable of, what my limits are. That's what I'm here to find out about.
Already in his mid-30s, for candidate 42, it's now or never.
It's something I've got to do, I think. I never wanted to get just sort of, I guess to 40 years of age and look back on my life and think, fuck, I really should have had a go at that and I didn't do it. That nothing worse than living with regret.
For 130.
So I feel a lot of phone calls from guys that feel the same way that this individual felt, right? They want to go now. Some of them are actually going through the process and going. Others are dragging their feet and regret to look at your life 50 or so years later and say, man, I should have done this, knowing that it's too late and you can never do it again. So don't be that guy.
It's about much more.
Since about the age of 14, I wanted to join the military. Since the age of about 17, I wanted to join the SAS. It's the family that I crave.
All the candidates have arrived, and the men ready themselves for an intense physical start.
Everyone's just waiting for a bomb to drop.
Okay, everyone stop what you're doing, be quiet, listen in.
Instead, they are given a creative task.
You are to demonstrate your literacy and clarity of thought by submitting an erudite, inventive and stimulating essay about yourself. Your essay will be studied by selection course staff in order to find out more about you and why we might consider you for further SAS reinforcement training.
It's a very open-ended question they get given, or set of questions they get given on that particular essay. So it's interesting to see what people actually bring up. You can actually glean a lot of information out of that, which we use later on down the track. From the psychological perspective, they're really looking for someone who has, I guess, resilience being a key factor. Someone who's, capable of getting on with the job, even when the chips are down, and really capable of dealing with that uncertain environment that's out there at the moment.
So at selection, when I went through, we had to write an essay, but and I remember this vividly because everyone just came back from whatever task we were conducting that day, and we were tired, hungry, and instead of letting us go to sleep, cadres came in. It was like, "Yep, we want you to write an essay about yourself, identical to what these guys are doing here." Right, and it really separated the pack, right? Because there were guys that took it seriously, and there were guys that just kind of, dusted off and didn't pay any mind to it. That came back to haunt them later on, right? I can't remember what I wrote about, but yeah, this is something that we also do at Green Beret Selection.
Next, the men are issued with their course kit. Now, any feelings of uncertainty are about to reach a whole new level.
Alright, what I need to do is take off all of your clothing, including your watch, your underpants, dog tags, and put them in a neat pile just to your rear. Okay, you should have 5 sets of military socks. Put 1 set on your feet and put the other 4 in the S-long bag. Stand up nice and straight when you're done.
Now, we didn't have to do any of that, right? We didn't get naked at any point in time doing my selection process course, but we did do inventories because what they're looking for is to make sure that you can follow instructions. Like they'll give you a list of things that you have to bring to selection prior to you even getting on the bus and going out to Camp McCall. Now, when they do their inspection, what they're looking for is one, that guy that can follow instruction. He does what he's told, how he's told, and then he's good to go. But then they're also looking for that guy that can't follow instruction. They're looking for that guy that's going to try to sneak something in that they should not have, right? But we did all of it clothed, right? We didn't get naked for any of this. So this is something definitely new. I wonder if they still do this. Let me know.
The cause for us stripping them naked is to level them out. I mean, clearly there are some very fit blokes there. We populate the staff with as many women as possible also. It's another psychological ploy to play on their minds. It's not a comfortable thing to be standing there nude with people all looking at you while you put your socks on.
I'll tell you what, though. It takes a different type of person. Like, if I was in their shoes, no fucks given. Because I'm there for a specific reason. I'm not there to try to pick up chicks. I'm not there to try to show them how big my package is. I'm there for selection. So, fuck it, man. Like, take it all off. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm here for a reason. But the guys that are insecure, the guy that aren't sure that they want to be there, this might start fucking with their minds right here. Right? So, this is a pretty interesting tactic, and I can see this working. And all you got to do is the females walk by, just tell, hey, it's cold outside, don't judge me. You know what I mean? If you're one of those dudes, and just keep it moving, man.
We adopt a method, we call it silent running when it comes to dealing with the candidates. We don't give them any positive feedback, we don't give them any negative feedback. They won't be told they've done something well, nor done it badly, and that really will play on their minds quite a bit. Because in this modern society, people look for feedback on their performance, and they won't get any from us here.
So our selection process is pretty similar. Like, as a candidate going through SFAS, like, the only feedback you'll get from a cadre is, candidate, you failed to negotiate this obstacle. And that's during the obstacle course portion of it. Then the rest of the time, the entire 21 days that you're there, you won't get any feedback from any of the instructors. There'll be no yelling. There'll be no cussing. But when you don't get that feedback, that has the ability to mess with your mind because you're just out there performing and you're not sure if you're doing the right thing or not. So this concept is used throughout not only Special Forces selection in the Army, by Delta Force selection, and I'm sure a variety of other ones across the West.
Alright, have a look at the floor in front of you. You should see some very important paperwork. Probably one of the most important. Your withdrawal at home request form. I want you to put that inside your wallet with your notebook.
Every candidate's issued a withdrawal and request form at this stage, and it's the only vehicle they have to get off this course. We basically don't remove people in the first phase of this course. They'll remove themselves. Either that or they'll be injured. And for some of them, when the mind games start playing in their own heads, they can feel it burning away in their pocket, and they have to have it on them at all times.
So we have something pretty similar. We have the VW form, or the voluntarily withdraw form, meaning cadres at Special Forces Assessment and Selection, they don't remove anybody. At any given time, if I'm feeling sorry for myself, or I'm sucking at life, or I'm injured, I have to fill out that form saying, hey, I'm done, I'm quitting. And then I'll give them that form, and that's the only way that I can get out of the course. If I don't fill out that form, then I got to keep going. If I'm hurt and medics are keeping an eye on me, like, they have to come and they have to tell me, hey, you're done with the course, go sit down, right? If not, I got to fill out that form, and that's the only way that I'm allowed to leave the course.
The candidates now leave the barracks to travel to a bush camp where the real course begins. Driven 2 hours into the night, the candidates are then marched another 8 kilometres to the camp. These men are now walking into what will become the most difficult physical and psychological experience of their lives.
The course itself is physically and mentally demanding. If you have prepared yourself correctly, you'll be standing at the end of this course. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot about the other soldiers standing around you. Be confident, trust in your own ability, and believe in yourself. If you do that, you'll be standing here in 21 days' time.
And that's the majority of the problem, right? A lot of people go to selection and they're not ready. They're saying, hey, Jesus, take the wheel, and hope that everything works out. Selection, for us at least, is not a secret. You know exactly what you're expected to do. You know you got a land nav course to go to. You know you have team week. And you also know the first week you're going to be doing a variety of different tasks. If you go there already knowing that you could conduct all of those tasks, selection is going to be easy, right? Because you know for a fact that you can conduct all those separate acts. But if you go there not in shape, can't do the pull-ups, can't do the runs, can't do the rucks, can't land nav, can't play well with others, you're rolling the dice. You're hoping that cadre doesn't lock on you and then you skate under the radar. And that's not going to happen. The guys that prepared, you're going to be able to tell.
And remember, I want warriors.
Housed in a cold shell of a building known as the Embassy, it's past midnight by the time the candidates are finally allowed to sleep. From this moment on, the men will be constantly torn from their beds and punished for indiscretions.
For inspection, port, arms, DS, inspect the weapons.
So now this is probably going to get a lot of guys, right? Because as a Special Forces operator, certain things you should not be told to do. You should know, hey, I have this weapon, and as a good soldier, as a disciplined soldier, I'm supposed to keep this thing clean and in good firing order at all times. So who actually claimed their weapon will show here, or who took this time to go out and get some rest.
Have you cleaned your weapon? Yes, sir.
A soldier's weapon is his most important possession. It must remain within reach at all times and be impeccably maintained.
Yes, sir. Sir, candidate. Sir. Yes, sir. Remove your receiver.
That weapon is filthy.
Where's your gas plug, candidate?
Can't answer that question, sir.
A missing gas plug for this weapon.
That's inexcusable.
Sorry.
So now at this point, a lot of things is going through their head, right? Something as small as a gas plug is missing. Shows that, hey, does he have the attention to detail that we're looking for? Or is he just one of those dudes that's going through the motions?
Put them back together.
Sir.
The DS have reported back to me, and what they've reported is totally unacceptable. The weapons are filthy, rust, dust, mud, fluff. Not only dirty weapons, weapons with vital components missing, lost. You just don't get it. PDIs!
Dirty student.
So at this point, you're feeling like shit because you're like, man, did I just cause myself my ability to get selected? Am I about to cause undue harm to my fellow dudes to my left and to my right? You just feel like crap if you were one of those dudes at this point.
June 1996, the regiment lost a number of soldiers in a Black Hawk accident. How many soldiers died on that day from this regiment?
15, sir.
15. 15 warriors who were at their peak, stripped from this regiment like that. 15 is the number we're going to work with tonight.
Most of these men are already experienced and fit soldiers. The directing staff are forced to push the physical pain levels to the extreme in order to begin breaking the candidates down.
So you have different type of fits, right? You have big army or conventional or wherever these guys are coming from fit. Then you have selection fit, right? When I was going through selection, I had already spent 6 years in the big army. I was fit for big army for my unit, but I had to go on an additional 3 to 4 months even so I can get selection fit. It's a different type of ball game in its entirety.
It is known as retraining.
Now, log PT sucks. I have a feeling even if all the weapons were clean, they still would have found something to make sure that these guys go through these evolutions. Just because it's planned in, it's baked in, right? They have to go through this to start breaking your body down, to start peeling the onion back, right? If you look at across the entire spectrum when it comes to special operations selection across the military in the United States, you'll see that log PT is a fundamental component of it, right? Why is that? They're not just making you carry that log so you can suck. Yes, that's going to happen anyways, but it also embodies teamwork. It shows you the importance of working on a team. If everybody within, your little squad, 5, 10, 15 dudes, if they all work together, that log is not as heavy. It's manageable. But if guys start sandbagging or guys start sucking and they're not holding their weight, that log becomes 10 times heavier than it should be. And they're also watching and identifying who the natural born leaders are, right? Because when that log is on you, what are you doing? Are you bitching and moaning? Are you crying? Are you yelling? Are you cussing? Or are you encouraging your buddy to do their best? Hey man, like this is almost over. Pick up that log. You got this. You can do this, right? Like who's doing that? And who are the guys that are bitching, crying, cussing, and just hate life? they're also looking for that. So there's a reason behind everything these guys do, and that's definitely a reason behind carrying this log.
The retraining goes on for hours, quickly exposing physical weakness and hidden injuries.